Good evening. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. I can't believe we're at the end of the week already. I hope everyone is having an awesome day. We are at day 10. No, that's not true. We are at day 11 of the 31 days of doodling presented by the New York City Planner Addicts and featuring the talented Anna Mazzuta and myself. Anna has been amazing at providing these daily doodles for us and showing us how to do them every day. I've really been enjoying the process, getting better at sketching out these figures, and I hope that everyone else is as well. So it's been really fun. And in addition to sketching out the figures, we're also doing an affirmation and an accompanying journal prompt to match the affirmation. So for today, and I apologize, I had transposed the doodle and the affirmation for today. So the doodle is actually this one. We have a woman with her hands outstretched. So I will start by sketching her in, adding in a few additional details, and then in doing that, like following these lines, I'm more comfortable with copying the doodle over onto my paper. What I want to do today is sketch her and then sketch her on this watercolor paper and make myself a die cut that I can then use as an additional embellishment on my journaling background. So I'll start with that. And what I have been doing is using my watercolor pencils to sketch out the doodle. So I'll go ahead and bring those out now. I'm enjoying the watercolor pencils because I get a very good sense of control with them. But then when you do add water to these, they blend out very nicely. And they're pretty pigmented too. If anybody had questions on the type of watercolor pencil, they're by Statler. And I got these because I saw them on sale at Staples. I think they were like $9 for this pack of 24. And I get pretty good flexibility with regards to colors in what's available here. So let's begin. I'm going to move this closer just so that I can have you see the sketch. So we have a woman here. The affirmation is, I choose joy, I choose creativity, I choose inspiration. Tongue twister there. I choose joy, I choose creativity, I choose inspiration. So I will sketch her out. And I really love the, I think I'm going to use like some reds. I think I'm going to use some reds here. She is, this is something like a mountain pose, which we had done last month for the 28 days of wellness. So she's just like standing very sassy. This is a very powerful pose. You can see like the power is there, like in her hips. So it's almost like two straight lines. I'm going to then bring this up. There's the tip of her toe and her heel. There's her ankle, coming up into her calf and her thigh. So then I'll come back down on this side. So this is very, very easy and I think approachable doodle. So I'm pulling down her arms and her shoulder, and her hands are touching. I can just imagine how good it's feeling for her to stretch and elongate her back here. So I started out with that red. I'm going to like deepen this into a pink and then maybe have additional energy here. So I'm pulling some pink right here, just very barely, because when I add water, we'll get a lot of blending and a lot of color. And I'm gonna let's have a blue at her core, because she's got a lot of layers. Next, I'm going to just sketch her right here. I'm going to give her a scarf. I'm wearing a scarf right now, and I'm going to have her match me in that regard. So I'm just pulling this close right here around her neck. And then I'm going to shade in her face and add in some contour with the brown. So there's that peachy shade in the middle, and we got brown on the outside. So there she is, all shaded in. Let's add some water. So I'm gonna use this actually, let me do her face first with my small brush, and then I'm going to use the bigger brush to shade in her body, because I want some freedom and movement there, and in that respect I don't mind going outside the line. So I'm going to use a bigger brush than I would normally use for this. So I've got the big brush, and I'm just kind of pushing the water into the color here. And I love how once I've added the water, it really looks like there's some additional movement. Like she's just really feeling that stretch now. I'm going to leave that to dry, but while I have her there as a reference point, I want to start sketching her out on my watercolor paper. So first we had this very strong line here. So let's say this is the center. Let's say that her waist is right here. Okay, so I'm going to start at the tops of her hands are touching. It's just coming down. There's her elbow, and there's her shoulder, and it's coming down right here into her waist. And then her hips are coming out, and there's her feet. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to follow with the other arm. So her other arm is coming down. There's her elbow is right here. I'm going to put her elbow right here. So it's coming down like into her shoulders. There's her waist. And it's coming down into her leg. And her leg this leg is a little bit pointed outward. And there's her heel. I'm going to stop right here. I want her hands are just kind of like touching. She's really feeling that stretch. So her shoulders are right here. So here's her head. So again, I'm going to draw her. She's going to be wearing a scarf because I'm kind of wearing one right now. I'm just going to have this come down right here. And let's see, for the rest of her outfit, maybe she's wearing like big pants, kind of like MC Hammer pants, right? Or what are they called? Harem pants. Those pants are coming back. We've got her sleeve right here, and she's feeling great. So now I'm going to start sketching this in or coloring it in. I think I'll use the watercolor pencil again. Yeah, let's do that. And for her, I'm going to follow my color scheme for this month. Hi, Planner Babe Petta. How are you? I hope that you're enjoying your Friday night. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, so I'm going to go with the theme that we've been like loosely following from March, which was like these really great greens. For spring, though, spring's not coming too quickly, and I'm not mad about that. I'm happy that winter is sticking around for a little bit. We in New York, we're having some snow either tomorrow or Sunday. So I'm just kind of following that harem pant shape. I'm going to sketch this in. I want this to be like just a little dark. And let's do a slightly different color for her shirt. So let's say that her shirt is like this, it's kind of like a mossy green. So you can see her like this, the strength of her shoulders here. We've got the elbow. There's her elbow like coming in here a little bit. Just going to shade this in a little bit, and then let's do a light green for her scarf. There's her scarf kind of coming down right here on the side. Alright, I'm going to shade in her face. I'll use those same two colors that I used before, so it's this peachy, oh yeah, Petta, you're in New York too. What borough are you in? I'm in Brooklyn. So and I'm like near the water, so it tends to be less, like the snow sticks less because I guess we have like a lot of moisture. And it's not, they're not forecasting like a big stickiness with the snow, which is not bad. The other day when it snowed, it was coming down like in very fluffy flakes, which was really nice to see from the window. But like once it hit the ground, like it was a wrap. It was over, and I wasn't really mad about that. So it was pretty, but we didn't have like the, I don't know, the mess with like stickiness. Even though I like snow, I don't want people to have to suffer with commuting and cleaning and stuff like that. All right, so I'm gonna just shade this in a little bit more. I'm just gonna do like a loose shading because once I add the watercolor brush, a lot of these colors will blend in together. I'm gonna move my reference aside for a moment so I don't get it wet with the water. Just clear away some of these pencils. And I'm going to start with blending her face in first because that's the lighter color. I don't want to muddy it up. And then I'm going to use some of that residual color for her hands and her feet. I love the color that I managed to get her face. That looks great. And let's see, can I give her a little bit of blush without getting it too wet? I just kind of lightly dotted this red pencil onto her face. I'm going to try to get my brush as dry as possible and blend this in a little bit. Just blend that blush like across her cheeks. Let's see, there's still a little bit of blush left. I'm going to leave it. May come back to that later. Oh, that looks good. So there's like a little bit of natural shadowing here, so which is okay. I'm happy with that. And I'll add a little bit of ink, and I think I'll do maybe a light wash of blush when it's dry with like some additional Tombow marker. That might be nice. All right, so I'm gonna get my, this is about maybe a quarter, maybe 3/8 of an inch, not too wide. I'm gonna blend in that green first, the light green in the center, and I'm doing it like in a circular motion to pull in some of that the darker green from the outside. So I'm doing it that way, hoping that I can get like just some additional shadow. It's working out, I think, the way that I'm envisioning it. That's good. So Jamaica Queens. You know, that's so funny because I was with my friend today, an old friend of mine. She lives in the Bronx, but she grew up in Jamaica Queens, and we were talking about like hitting all the boroughs like for our brunch plans, and I was like, let's go to Queens next time we get together. And like once we got into that conversation, we could not like just decide on a place to go because in Queens there's just so many different cuisines that you can do. So when we do that, I'll let you guys know where we ended up. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's always like if you've been like listening to Anna's lives in the morning, she came on. I don't remember if it was yesterday or today. But she said that she comes on and she's like feels a little bit daunted like when she sits down at the desk and starts to doodle. And I'm like, I don't believe you, Anna. I don't believe that you ever felt daunted about anything because you're just such an amazing artist. And when you sit down and you do it, it looks almost effortless when you draw it, and then when you color it in, it's like wow, like the mastery. And like if anything, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing when I sit down at the desk and do it. But I suppose we're always more critical of ourselves when than we are with other people. So I'm happy with the way that she's turning out as well. And as I've been doing this over the past couple of days, I do sit down. I do like hit a little bit of what's the word? Not ambivalence, but I feel like, is it gonna turn out okay? Like I'm gonna be live, and like I'm just afraid that I'm gonna mess it up somehow. And then when I don't, like at the end of the live, I'm like, wow, like she really turned out pretty good. I'm kind of surprised that I did this image, and like almost every day it's been like that. I'm pleasantly surprised at the end. So I say that all to say, if you feel daunted or you don't feel that you're going to be able to do it, and this is good advice for myself as well, try it, keep going. It's, don't be your worst critic. Give yourself a break, and it's sometimes scary to try new things. With her scarf, I feel like the greens are going to look a little bit too monochromatic. So before I color in her scarf, I want to add in another color. And I think I'm going to go with yellow, just to get like some additional lightness in here. And I hope that this is enough when I start shading. And if it's not, I can still shade it, and we'll add some marker once it's dry. I hope it works out, but I'm not too worried. Okay, so there is the lightness. It's coming through. So Planner Babe Petta, are you journaling / doodling with us as the month has gone on? And if so, are you enjoying it? Have you been like pleasantly surprised as we have? Let me know. I'd love to know. Okay, so I'm going to let her dry. While she's drying, let's do the affirmation and the journaling prompt. So what happened here is I transposed the image for Friday, and I had put it for Saturday when I printed out this planner. But it's okay. We will just, journal where we're supposed to do our journaling. So she's the image for today's affirmation and today's journaling prompt. The affirmation is, I choose joy, I choose creativity, I choose inspiration. So she's, embracing herself and choosing all of those things. So as always, we'll write the affirmation out again to internalize it for ourselves. This is a great reminder for me, like as I've said, with that wariness or that feeling, the initial feeling of fear when we're starting out doing the drawing. So I'm going to write that out again. So it's, I choose joy. I think maybe I'll write it as three separate statements. I choose joy, I choose creativity, and I choose inspiration. So I have been enjoying you and Anna's live. Unfortunately, I've been struggling with finding time because I have a 4-month-old that I'm nursing, so I feed on demand, which takes up so much time. Oh, I totally understand that. I totally get that. That's not easy. Um, so then the journaling prompt is, what was the most emotionally fulfilling creative project you've worked on? That is a, yeah, like I've come up with these journaling prompts and all at once, but yeah, I'm still surprised when I read each one, and I'm like, wow, like what a deep question. Why am I giving, why am I giving us so much deep questions? But these are really good questions to ponder. I think, and I have to say that probably this project is emotionally fulfilling to me now. I'm learning to find balance, and I do find the time. I'll definitely try doodling. Um, yes, I'd say, yeah, that balance is important. Like especially now with with the newborn, this is probably, and all times of motherhood are tough. But I think that maybe the most like time intensive and like emotionally taxing is like when they're still so young, and they really, really, really depend on you to live, like to survive. So if you are able to like find that balance now, it really sets you up for success in the future, especially like as they get older and their needs change. But that's a good foundation. So if you do find the time, it would be great to see the types of doodles that you come up with. And I don't know if you were in Anna's doodling class today, but it was really funny because her husband was doing the doodles. I don't know if he does them with her every day, like if he follows her lives and does them every day, but he was definitely doing a doodle today. And her suggestion to him was to create like a male version of this doodle. And she said, like, to everybody, like all the participants, everybody that was watching, you can, like, the joy of doing these is that you can really personalize it. Like I've personalized mine by like adding her outfit. You could even play with the body shapes. You could make her like a little girl. Maybe you would make like a toddler version or a baby version of this doodle, and that would be a fun challenge for you. And even if you do different doodles of these and you enjoy it so much, you might do different versions of every single doodle, like depending on what you have time for or what you have the bandwidth for. Her lives are saved on her profile. So even if you miss it, you can watch the replay anytime. And even if you watch it and you want to watch her like draw the thing over again, you can watch the replay. So we wanted to make this accessible to everyone, with regards to the availability of the lives or the availability of this planner. Like that, this planner is free. You can download it from the Facebook group NYC Planner Addicts, and you can download it anytime. It's just going to be up there, like in perpetuity. Am I making up a word? Infinitely, like forever. We're not going to take the planner down. So, even if you missed this month, you could go back anytime and trace. You could even trace the doodles if you don't want to doodle the doodle from scratch. So, yeah, take advantage. We want to make it as easy for everybody and as accessible for everybody as we can. Okay, so back to the journaling prompt. The most emotionally fulfilling creative project. Yeah, I think it was this one. So I would answer the journaling prompts like with, just a simple like list, or a sentence. The most emotionally fulfilling. Creative project. I've worked on. Was this one, the 31 Days of Doodling. And that's because I worked on coming up with these affirmations and coming up with journaling prompts that went along with the affirmation, and coordinating with Anna so that she could come up with a doodle or like a figurative representation of the journaling prompts and the affirmation. So that was really fun. Like putting the printable planner together with like graphics and a style that kind of matched the month. You know, like the spring theme of March, along with Women's History Month. So you'll notice that all of the figures are women, but they don't have to be women, like I've said before. You know, we want it to be inclusive, so that a lot of the figures may even look a little bit androgynous and like different body shapes and body types, so you could really add your own features and your own representation to the doodles. So so I have her, she's dry. I'm going to just let her hang out there for a little bit. And I want to create a simple background to mount her on. Yeah, thank you. This green was, this was a great green. And I'm really like, if purple was the color that I was most drawn to last month, I think green is the color that I'm most drawn to this month. It must be a seasonal thing. I had gotten the Archer and Olive subscription box, and it was very green centric too, so I have these washi tapes. I think I want to do incorporate those into my background for today. Let's go in on all of the green, but still offer a little bit of contrast. So I've been loving, and I know that Anna's really been warming up to gelatos. I've always loved them. She's definitely the watercolor maven, which is what I'm warming up to. So I think I want to do gelatos today for my background. So she's green. I want something that's maybe not so matchy-matchy, but coordinating. So I'll pull, let's do like a green and a yellow. So these are fun. They're both very bright. This is called limoncello, and this is kiwi. And let's do this one is pistachio. So we've got food colors. Okay, I'll put these aside. And I'm thinking maybe she could stand here, and under her hands could be like that bright yellow color, and then the greens can kind of radiate outward, with the darkest green being on the outermost part of the page. So my vision is she's embracing her creativity, and she's like a beacon in the page. Maybe I'll do her on this side so she can face inward. So she's gonna face where my writing will be. So we'll do it that way. Just put her there as a reference point, and we will start with that bright yellow under where her hands are going to be. So that's like here. So it's like this big yellow light, and then gradually coming outward with those other colors. So we've got that green, so this is the pistachio. So it's just really like throughout the page. And then that really darker green. Oh, this is the pistachio. I'm sorry. That lighter green was called kiwi. So the pistachio is on the outer corner. So right here, it's fading into that darkness. And now we'll take the white and blend this out. So I'm going to start with the lighter color. Oh, hi Anna, hi Angela, Mama Irma. How are you ladies tonight? So I'm blending that green. I really want it to look like a gradient, so I'm taking my time to make sure that that yellow blends and it's kind of melding into the green. Trying to get rid of any white spaces under the color. And I'm going to come back to blend this darker green. Oh no, just kidding. I'm gonna blend it now because I don't want it to dry up while I'm working on the other side of the page. Okay, so this dark green is not as dark as I thought it would be. I may go in with, I have another green, this one. I wonder if it's a little too blue toned for this page. I will, I'll hold it while I'm blending out the other page. Okay, so it is ending up a little bit darker on this side. Maybe I just need to put more. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little bit more layer there. I really want it to look dark. Okay, so this second layer is blending out darker. I may then put a third layer. It's dark, it's not quite as dark. I really want, this is the beacon and she's just like shining her light and her creativity into the darkness. I might have been a little too conservative with my color there, but that's okay. We can layer these gelatos, and as long as I'm not like really abusing the paper, it should be fine. Let's, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this, this green here, maybe like right between these two colors. And so I had that, I'll bring this out in case I needed to use this again. Maybe I can add like a brown to that outer edge and have that brown meld with that darker green. Let's try that. Let's try it right here. Let's see how that works. I'm going to start with the green. The green, it's adding a different dimension, but it's not doing much for bringing more darkness to the page. But I'm not mad about how it looks. It does look, it matches really well with this pistachio color that's here. So that's pretty good, adding a little bit more dimension. Now let's try that brown and see if it's, okay, I think that's the darkness that I'm looking for. It doesn't look too green though, but I'm going to try to blend it out into the other colors. This is pretty good. I like how it looks. It kind of looks like clouds. Or like smoke. I really like that smoky color. Maybe I should have just done that from the get-go. But we live and we learn. We get these lessons. We see how the color builds up, and I'm still fine with being a little bit conservative with the color at first and seeing what happens. It's a journey, but this looks great. I'm happy with the way that color is looking. I like the way that it's blending. It looks like smoke. So that's really looking like darkness to me. So once she's here, she is, wow, that would be pretty powerful. So let's cut her out. So I've got my scissors, and then once I lay her onto the page, I will add her ink and her detail. Oh, you know, I just got an idea as I was cutting her. Maybe I could add some distress ink to her, give her a little bit more dimension. What do we think about that? Okay, so there she is. Let's do it. Let's do some distress ink on her. So this is Distress Oxide by Ranger. I have this dauber. So I do this technique a lot when I'm making cards, or doing die cuts, or like scrapbooky type of projects. So you dab the dauber into that ink, and you grab your die cut, and just kind of go around the edge. Oh, there's a hair there, sorry about that. So what that does is you'll see it adds additional dimension. If you had fussy cut this out and maybe there's some white, like you can see there's that white edge there, and you distress it, it blends in, so that distressing hides like imperfections with your fussy cutting, and it's a definite go-to technique of mine, especially when you're working with like multiple layers like this. So I would distress right here, like basically all around the image. So now that I've distressed it, I can get away with maybe not inking around her perimeter. I will still add ink, but I'll add ink like in the middle and stuff. So I'm happy with the way that's looking, and even if you get like that distressing far in and she gets a little bit dirty, it's okay. Like it all adds to that look and that dimension. So I'm going to do it like on the inside of her arm right here. Let's do the inside of her other arm. And the other side. I'm just going to get like the top of her head. There she is. She's distressed. So you see the difference there? Like now, and even if she was on like this a monochromatic page, she pops out. You can see the dimension. And I kind of like how the distressing matches that cloudy border. Okay, so I'm going to, let's add our glue. I'm just doing a glue stick right here. And get right up to the edge. So since this was a watercolor paper, it's a little bit porous. I'm going to add a lot of glue. I'm not going to be stingy with the glue. And if you get glue onto the page, this glue dries clear, and you can still write over it. So you can see I got some additional glue here. I'm not going to be worried about that. So we'll put her down. Just kind of use the glue. The glue's closed. I'm just kind of using this to like burnish and get her as flatly affixed to the page as possible. So there she is. That looks good. Let me bring this a little bit closer, and let's add some ink. I'm going to first go in with some black pen. Got these are two like very thin black pens. I'm going to like just add a little bit of just a little bit of wrinkles to like her pants here. I really want that sense of these pants are ballooning out. Just put some like curves at the middle. So there's the wrinkles of her scarf right here. I'm going to add some lines to the top of her scarf. Let's do some lines around her face. There's going to put her elbow back in. Here's her elbow right here. And then I'm going to go in with some jelly roll. So I did like how the yellow turned out. Yesterday I've got some white. And let me get a green. So for green I've got 2 greens. And these are like an iridescent green. And then the gold. Because the gold had a very nice effect. So this green, I'm going to use this green for her scarf, just to add a couple of lines right here. Then I'm going to do the same with that iridescent green. I'm going to use the iridescent green for her pants. And then let's do the gold, like just around the outline of her face. Let's do her hands. Let's do her feet too. Then I've got this yellow. Add a little bit of outline to her face with that yellow. And the white. Let's do a little bit of white to add some highlights. Alright, so I think that's sketch is done. I love how that looks. Let's talk about some kind of border. I did pull these out, right? I feel like this is not the right tone. That's pulling a little bit too much blue. How about this one? Oh, and this one has a tiger on it. That is super cute. And we'll put the pink back. Let's maybe do something small with that tiger. And this, is it called a Montserrat leaf? I don't know. I don't know what this leaf is called, but maybe Montserrat, if somebody knows, let me know. I don't want to mislabel anything, especially if I could get the right information. Okay, so I'm going to just get a card to get this to rip. Let's do this maybe at the top right here, just to have a little something extra. I think I'm going to let that dark smoke be the border and keep this fairly subtle. And this with the tiger is so cute. Let's have that right here. And then let me see if I can grab a quote really quickly that that kind of matches the theme of this affirmation. I choose creativity. I think I have a die cut that just says create. Let me see if I can find that really quickly. Okay, I have a bag of die cuts here. All right. So, this one that says focus, focus, we've got balance, minimalism, no. Oh, this is a pretty one. I might do that one. Bear with me. That one also kind of matches. Well, this green is nice. I should just take them all out of the bag, right? We've got this wolf. I've taken this wolf out so many times, and I feel like I haven't done a spread like deemed worthy enough for that wolf, but I really want to use it soon. Okay, I can't find it. I think I might have used it already. The die cut that said create, but I found a lot of great options. Monstera leaf. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I've got these three. So this one says we rise by lifting others. I think that's nice. I love the green there. This one says you wake up every morning to fight the same demons that left you so tired the night before, and that my love is bravery. I kind of like that too. And then the last one says I don't give a hoot whether you've stood with the great. I'm interested in whether you've sat with the broken. That one is also good. I think I might go with this one because so that this resonates for me because I had a friend that was going through a hard time today, and I did spend some time with her, so that kind of resonates for me personally with my day, and I hope that I was able to comfort her a little bit. So that's my quote. And let me move this up a little bit. That came out really good. So I really love how she came out. I love how all of the doodles are coming out. And every day I love the present day's doodle, more than the past one. So if that's any indication of how this month is going, it's going great. I hope that everybody else is enjoying it as much as I am. And without further ado, I'll let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night and have a wonderful weekend. We will be back here tomorrow, Anna, at 9 a.m. and I will be back at 6 p.m. tomorrow. If you guys are interested in planning, we have a live plan with me every Saturday evening. But I guess now that with the sun setting later, it's more like Saturday late afternoon. But that is 5 p.m. Eastern. Planner Babe Headed, since you're in New York, and even Mama Irma, if you guys are free tomorrow, we'd love to see you guys. The Zoom link is in our group, NYC Planner Addicts. Join us. We'd love to see everybody, whether you're planning or not. You can just pop in and say hello. So again, that's 5 p.m. Eastern, the Zoom live virtual plan with me. So have a good night, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.